understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why? Why do you panic?
The way you, Papa, you know Papa.
Figuratively, he bites as hard as he can.
Okay.
And of course, when he puts his fangs into you, you certainly feel it. I think it pretty.
Watch Johnny's bite.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over, and surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Assalamu alaikum. It's Monday, 28th of October. Welcome to Johnny's Bite. I trust you had a great weekend. Well, I did. It was a swell time at the Maxi Cathedral. It climaxed all of the activities of the 80th anniversary. And His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, along with his entourage, were there in flesh and blood to come and celebrate with us. Now, I want to say thank you to Sana Fashions in Tamale, 0246 590162, 0246 590162, and also a big congratulations to Media General for picking up 2 prestigious awards at the just ended Ghana Business Awards over the weekend. Group CEO of Media General Beatrice Ajiman was adjudged the female CEO of the year, and Media General also the Media Organization of the Year. It doesn't come easy, but we are happy and proud and glad indeed that these honors keep coming in. Also, just to mention that the St. Joseph the Worker Anglican Church yesterday, in marking its 80th anniversary, also honored Media General for its unparalleled broadcasting and journalism and impartiality, etc. So 3 big ones over the weekend for Media General. Congratulations to the leadership of Media General and to every staff who put in some work to make sure that this is done. Let me indicate first of all that Accra is very dark. I don't know about other cities because it's been quite a while, apart from my beloved Tamale, which also has certain portions that are dark. Accra is very dark. And I'm sure that if I activate the phone lines and ask people across the country to tell me whether or not the street lights and the traffic lights this morning driving in, the traffic lights not functional in many different areas. I mean, even on the around the presidential drive, it's not working. So you ask yourself, is somebody watching? Because now it has become normal place for people to be driving with their highlights on. The road markings are in there. You have the road safety authority there. Yes, they are there. You have urban roads. You have everybody. They all go to work this morning. When they finish, they'll take their salaries in 2 days. Some have even taken their salaries as we speak, because for the government institutions, their salaries come before the month end in most of the cases. And you ask yourself, whose job is it to make sure that the lights are kept on? Whose job is it to make sure that all these lights are kept on? Because the accidents that come with it and the lives that are lost with it and people who get hurt, injured, and maimed is unthinkable. And to know that these could have been prevented and avoided is heartbreaking indeed. So I ask again, is it that the Interior Ministry doesn't care? The National Security doesn't care? The Ministry of Energy doesn't care? I ask that question because I think that there is no compassion and fellow feeling for most of those officials, because they have the sirens and the convoy, they don't get to experience what the ordinary people experience. Right here at Akwaje, the interchange, there's a pothole that's coming up. It's developing. I know that the authorities have seen it, because in between that you have the Canadian embassy, and then you are coming towards the presidency. So you cannot tell me that our big men and our big women do not use that. Akwaje, a pothole is coming up. Then you connect from Ghanaian Times, TV Africa, you're connecting towards Charterhouse up to Dance Bar. There's a big gapping pothole in the middle of the street. Then you connect from Odoko and you come Sakaman to Odoko, there's a big portal on the left-hand side. So the portals at Dakuma Junction, Dasoma Junction, everywhere. If it is not pothole, it is a street light that is not functioning. If it's not a street light that's not functioning, it is a traffic light that is not functioning. If it's not, then there's a combination of all three. And the DVLA will come and be on your neck and insist that you pay for roadworthy certificates. And the police MTTD will be on your neck and insist that you must have these roadworthy certificates. So what do they use the money for? In whose interest are those monies collected? And for what purpose are they collected? And are they being used for the purpose? Are they being used for the purpose? It's a simple question. I'm asking a simple question. And this morning, I'm sure a lot of Ghanaians, will connect with what I'm saying. A lot of Ghanaians will connect with what I'm saying. Bring back our street lights. Make our streets bright again.
FM 92.7.
Bring back our street lights. Make our street lights bright. Make our streets bright again. Make our streets safe again. Make our street. Children will go to school this morning. If you don't get sensible drivers, forgive my French, to be able to apply the brakes for the children to cross, you actually are endangering the lives of the children. Go onto the Nima Highway, right behind the presidency, the Nima Highway. There's a big traffic light that and it's an intersection. And it's not working. And children have to cross to go to school. I say if you don't get sensible drivers to apply the brakes, children will die. Now, there's another thing that is coming up, and I keep saying this, that, you are comfortable, you're happy. You take your children to school, it's fine. You're making sure that you're teaching them principles and values, it's okay. You're taking very good care of them, that's fine. But there's another set of kids on the streets. Show me sixes. Children are on the streets. And these children have become beggars. They are on the streets. And in most cases, you find that the police is not far away from them. This one was taken at the SGSSB junction. And they are there. See where the police is, under the tree. You see where the child is. And then you come back a bit and you see more of them. In the next 10, 15, 20 years, these children who are growing on the streets without any love, any affection, without people liking them, will come. I mean, can you imagine that in the heart of the city center, the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, people wash their clothes and they hang on the rails? Can you imagine? And around that same Kwame Nkrumah Circle, you have the police there. You have the local assembly, the sub-metro of either Okankwe South sub-metro under the AMA, or you have Ablikuma Central, or you have the Kokma. They all see these things. They see these things. They see them. I say in the next 10, 15, 20 years, your child that you would have taken to international school, you would have taken to the best private school, you would have given them the best of tuition, they would have earned an honest living or be working to earn an honest living. These children you find on the streets, let's see the children on the street. These children you find on the streets, they would have nowhere to go. They will find their way into your child's home. And when they come either with a knife or a gun, that is when we will know what we have done, by looking away while this situation goes on. Let's see the children on the streets. Let the big men see the children on the streets. In the meantime, we have a Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. Gender, Children and Social Protection. There's a whole department maybe for this. Do we have shelters as a country to begin with? The social welfare department under the ministry, are they themselves okay? Are they okay? And the children will be at the mercy of the scorchy sun, at the mercy of the rain. They are out there homeless, and all they do is to beg. So right from infancy, they are taught that your means of survival is not to do any work, it's to beg. Your means of survival is to lose your dignity. Your means of survival is to harass people in their vehicles and take money from them. Your means of survival is to make sure, you know, one thing that they do these days, they actually scratch people's vehicles and sometimes knock boisterously on your window. Because they are hungry. Because they are hungry. And we used to say, oh, these ones, some of them are foreigners. The children we find on the streets are foreigners. These people, when you speak your key and things with them, you know. They know. They are very much aware. As a country, what is our position? What is our plan? What is our standpoint as a country? Street lights, no day. Traffic lights, no day work. Road markings, reflectors, zero. Then now you're compounding the problem. People sleeping under the bridges and all of this. Somebody says, oh, even in America, people sleep under the. It's okay to draw those conclusions. But then in America, if you make an emergency call to the police, how soon do they get there? In America, if any of these people, the scenario I'm trying to get into your heads, in America, if in the next 20 years, any of these kids barge into your kid's home and stab them and they call an ambulance, how soon will the ambulance get there? Will the ambulance ask them to pay money to buy fuel before they come? Will the road that they would use be motorable enough for them to get there in good time to save your child's life? So keep drawing the conclusions, keep drawing the parallels, keep drawing the comparisons. And most of the time, the people who draw these comparisons are people who have lived outside. They come back, they know the standards there. They come back, they see the standards here, and they always want to equalize and explain away and compare. And you wonder. And you ask yourself, is education not supposed to make us better? So why is our own kind of education retrogressing us? Why? Why is our own kind of education trying to take us back instead of push us and propel us forward? Why? Why is our own education not pushing us forward, but rather drawing us back and keeping us in a box and not making us think outside the box? Charlie, take me to Great Co. You may have noticed that your lights keep going off these days. The last time we asked for a timetable, the then Minister for Energy, who is now the MPP's running mate, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh, told us to go and bring our own timetable. Yes, he told us that go and bring your own timetable. Some said it was an insult. Some say, oh, well, he spoke no lie. Let's read this love letter from Great Co. It's dated the 26th of October, 2024. It was written in Tema. It's for immediate release from the corporate communications of the Ghana Great Company Limited. And it says power supply challenge. The Ghana Great Company Limited, Great Co, the operator, in inverted commas, of the National Interconnected Transmission System, informs the general public that due to limited gas supply to Tema, there will be a supply gap of 550 megawatts at peak time. This will affect power supply to consumers in some parts of the country. The inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. Issued by the Corporate Communications Section. And I've told you something, that when you see Corporate Communications Section and you don't see a name, you know that nobody wants to bring his head. You know that nobody wants to bring his head or her head, right? For the big knock. Everybody wants to be sure that we are safe. But just so you know, if you read this letter again, the Ghana Great Company Limited, the operator of the National Interconnected Transmission System, informs the general public that due to limited gas supply in the Tema, there will be a supply gap of 550 megawatts of power at peak time. This will affect power supply to consumers in parts of the country. The inconvenience caused is deeply regretted. And I say, So, your lights are going off. Your lights are going off. Your lights are going off. This statement, and I put this statement out because this statement has been in circulation. But the truth of the matter is that this statement is inaccurate. But then the conversation is that your light has been going off. And I always say that when officialdom sleeps, people will find, people will find a space to fill in the gap. So this letter I read to you, you believed it, but this letter is fake. The letter I read to you, put it back on there. The letter I read to you is fake, but you believed it. Right? Now, but you believed it because your lights truly are going off. And so, when your light goes off, and officialdom doesn't explain to you that your light has gone off, right? Officialdom doesn't explain to you when your light goes off. The people who want to play tricks with it will step in the gap and try and influence your thinking.
3FM 9.
Kindly show me, show me this one again. There's a rejoinder that has been written. But show me this with the letterhead. Because the lights has been going off for a long time. And everybody is quiet because the power on, power off is a political thing. And we all know how much politics was played with it back in the day. Put a letter up. This letter, what you see on the screen, is fake. But I'm saying that when I read it to you, you believed it. Maybe because you heard it on Johnny's Bite, and also because I'm telling you, and also because of the reality that your light has been going off. But when your light goes off and officialdom doesn't explain to you and they think that it's business as usual is okay, people will find space to influence your decision. Now let's read the rejoinder. There's a rejoinder that officialdom has now written. So safe to say that officialdom may be playing catch up at this point. We don't need officialdom to be playing catch up. We need officialdom to be up on the feet and they're explaining to the people and to feel responsible for the people. Because if you cast your mind back to 2014, 2015, 2016, when we had our own set of challenges with Dumso, the politicization that came around it, and interestingly, back in the day, when the light goes off, it's John Mahama who is the problem. Today, when the light goes off, they say, hold ECG, hold Rico, hold this. Leave Akufo-Addo alone. It tells you the kind of people that we are. But back in the day, we put the hairdresser in the mix. Back in the day, we put the, electrician in the mix. Back in the day, we put all those who do those small business, we put them in the mix. Printing press, this, that. Today, when the light goes off, those people, how do they survive? How do they do their businesses?
3FM.
Here's the rejoinder from my senior, Jifak Beho Bampo, and she heads comms department of Gridco. She says, good morning. It has come to the notice of Gridco Communications of a statement purportedly issued by us. Please note in the fake statement, the date is wrong. It is labeled as October 26, 2023. We are in 2024. For any enquiries, please feel free to contact me. Thank you. So this came after the fake one had been out there in the public domain. And I am saying to you this morning, and to officialdom, and to all of us, that when you have a situation, and officialdom is supposed to explain, and officialdom takes, the basic PR learned that when issues come and you don't attend to it, it flies out of the window, crisis flies back in. So this is to all officials, and it's not just to Gridco or ECG or the people within the energy sector. It's to everybody. There are things that we say here. I've been on the case of Dr. Bonaventure Benedicta Legebam for, I don't remember. Letters have come from the Ministry of Agri, from the Regional Coordinating Council, from the Chief of Staff, etc. The man is going nowhere. And you ask yourself whether there is some form of authority. And I have spoken to somebody who knows a big man, in fact, a deputy chief of staff at the presidency. I've spoken to somebody who knows, and he says, I will try and tell them and remind them that the man is still that post. Officialdom is not acting. When the people decide that they will write a fake thing like this and put it out there, then you find officialdom coming to play catch up, and they'll come blaming the media to say that, oh, the media is the one oiling and fueling these things. But I remember so well that the office of the chief of staff wrote and said that if any allegation is made against a state institution or a state actor, they have a certain number of days or a certain number of, in fact, it's supposed to be 24 hours to respond. Is it 24, 48? One of those. To respond to the allegations that have been made. They have between 48 hours to respond. That letter came from the chief of staff. Tomorrow I'll find it and show it to you. And you ask yourself, ever since that was written, how has that played out? Ever since that was written, how has that played out? What haven't I showed you about Gayhawk, for example? Has Gayhawk even bothered in a minute to put out a public statement and say what he's saying is a lie? Or to respond to the allegations with the facts? So it tells you the kind of country that we have now in our hands. It tells you. But let's move on. The women up north, and Nashoko on one of the community manifestos where we try to engage the public to bring democracy to their doorsteps and hear from them. He spoke to some shea butter producers, and they had concerns. First, there's a gentleman, and you see the women, doing the shea thing. It's a very lucrative business. Unfortunately, in our situation, we are not doing like the Burkinabés are doing. We are deciding that, it's business as usual. So the gentleman spoke with the gentleman. I want you to listen to the conversation, and then we'll come back and make some quick comments, and then we'll wrap up. Listen to the gentleman.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Osman Yakobo, CEO, Kataraga Solon Bourbon Cooperative.
What do you do?
Yeah, we do process shea.
You process shea?
Yeah.
And you produce shea butter and so on?
We produce shea butter, yes.
Okay. What are some of the challenges that you face in the shea business?
Actually, the main challenge now is the shea nut.
Okay.
And then the problem is that even though this year it was a natural, there was no fruiting as we all expected, but there are other challenges that we face. Some people usually go to the women. You go today and negotiate with them with the price. They come and increase it in the name of that they are just going to use machines to process. So no matter what you do, if they come and see that they are not getting, they will increase the price. So this year, that is how it is. Every week, the nut of price, nut price keep increasing.
What can you tell me about the exporting of shea nuts from Ghana to other countries as compared to practices elsewhere like Burkina Faso?
Yeah, you see, if you check around my processing center, we have over 600 women. That is where they work. So companies that export shea nut, it means that these women were out of business. But there are people who collect it and they also process to take care of their families. So it means that is why, I believe that is why the government of Burkina and Mali, they have decided to ban the export of the shea to boost their local industry so that they will only export the shea butter to the foreign.
So in Burkina Faso and Mali, shea butter is exported, but the shea itself
they banned it this year.
Is not exported it can encourage local production.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But that's not the case in Ghana. We export our shea itself, the shea fruit.
Yes, some people share the shea canal, and which is making
it's affecting the local economy.
Yeah. We are losing a lot because many of the women who are supposed to process to also get something from the processing, they are not getting, and they are out of business.
All right, thank you for talking to me.
Yes, thank you.
So this is the situation. What can we do to help these women? Can we be bold enough? Can we be bold enough to take the decision that the Burkinabés and the Malians have taken? In the interest of our country, in the interest of the sustenance of the businesses for our women and their children, and in the interest of generating more income by adding value locally. What can we do? Let's think about it together. And while we think about it, let's also think about it in a nationalistic way to get the authorities, right? To get the authorities to be able to deal with the situation as they find it. But this morning, as we wrap up, there's a prayer for all galamseyers and their sponsors. Have a good morning.
I don't pay me the galamsey food now, Shinyamens. Penimubia or Shagalamsey, God will kill you. I can't catch you. May boss me book quotation. Me can be in work as so dear. Me book quotation. I said, be a make the quotation better actually. A beer the could be a quotation would defend itself. Yeah. The Lord said, I will kill her children with death. Iti galamsey for the name some penny for Ghana. And they galamsey they fund the party. Nyami be kumuna. Yeah, because you don't care about people. People are dying from cancers, leukemia, kidney failures, and you don't care. God will let you taste death the way you wish for other people. Greedy people. Yeah, the Bible said, I will kill her children. And I'm be troye. Unyamisu be kum. Yeah. The galamsey fushi nyamensa.
Please, how much is the rice? It depends on size, no. 5 kilogram, no. And no, for 120 Ghana cedis.
120 Ghana cedis?